What's up, sleepyheads? Live and direct from the freeway here. Wasn't really planning on making a video, but here we go. Here we are. So I'm working on one of my video I'm working on. It's taking a while, right? Because I wanted to get into it about all this stuff that how I got to here after the, I had those crazy experiences, right? So there was a time where I said, you know what, I got to start writing this stuff down, right? Because what happened was, what I realized is that at the time I didn't know, right? I started getting these insights, like I said on the last video, and a couple of things with that, right? For one, I couldn't remember. I'd get these insights, right? And then next day, I couldn't remember what it was. Like, I would remember vaguely, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't get a hold of it, right? I couldn't grasp it. And the other thing was, it was even harder. If I did remember something, it was hard to articulate, get it out in words, right? Because it was like more of a feeling in my whole essence than upstairs intellectually. At the time, I didn't know. I figured that out now, right? Because it was more of a. What I know now is you're using more of your intuitive side than your logical side, right? And so anyhow, I had this idea one day. I said, you know what? I'm gonna, start jotting some of these down, taking notes on this stuff, right? Thought about it all by myself, right? I'm kidding. That's for my son. My son's actually the one who gave me the idea. So credit to him. Yes, he'll want all the credit and the glory. So he's like, I started talking to him. He was one of the first ones. Credit to him also. Up until this point, he's also been the only one that I've talked to about this. I haven't talked to many people, but he's the only one that's actually listened. That could say a lot about a lot of different things, whatever, right? Okay. But anyhow, so I do appreciate that, and yes, so credit to him. I started writing this stuff down, right? So I have my notes. You see my notes, man. Holy shit, right? Anyhow, so you look at the very beginning, right? The first thing I ever wrote down in my notes was, is time real, right? Don't ask me why I was thinking about that, but I started questioning that, right? And then I got to my conclusion. So I'm working on a video based on that, right? Because, I figured it out, and I wrote that down. Not at the same time. It took me a while. I questioned, is time real, right? I spent time thinking about that. And then I believe I came to my conclusion, wrote that down. So I thought it'd be a good idea to start there with, my next video when I start getting into all this stuff I want to talk about and enlighten y'all. Because, it's weird, man. I'm trying to bring love, man, and I do, right? But a lot of it is frustrating. A lot of it is fucking pisses me off, to be quite honest, right? But I also understand, so all I'm just trying to do is just kick knowledge, man, and bring everybody up, because we're fucking losing, man. You know what I mean? Not everybody. If you already know this, good for you, man, but vast majority of people don't. And a lot of people don't even want to care to fucking know about what's really going on out here. But, you know, ever since this all started, my overwhelming feeling above all else is like wanting to share this knowledge with people and elevate our game, man. And let's fucking win, you know? So, anyhow, so I started doing that, right? I said, okay, I'm going to do a video on time and get that down. But holy fuck, you know, the rabbit hole is deep, man. And in doing that, I said, okay, this is going to take time. Because, you know, it's time, right? One of the greatest questions mankind has ever asked himself, right? So, while I'm doing that, you know, I want to do it right. As best as I could. I thought I'd just chime in with some thoughts in the meantime, right? So here I am in the car. Anyhow, so one of the problems I found with, you know, trying to put this video together about, you know, Ole Father Time is that there's so many theories, and a lot of it is because the problem with a lot of these theories is that okay, one thing I want to clear up that I said on the first video, I believe, that I want to clear that up. So I said in the first video, what I meant to say, I was talking about biology and physics. What I meant to say was that in physics, primarily, and they leave a lot of room. You know, Einstein had this spooky fucking matter at a distance, I believe it was what he called it, right? And it's just shit that they don't know, right? Spooky shit, right? But what I was trying to say was our biology doesn't leave room for that, right? You can't say, oh, that's just spooky shit. We don't have, you know, if you're going for surgery, the doctor better know about biology and the human anatomy and not be like, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. That's spooky shit I never learned in, you know, I'm not familiar with. So it doesn't allow, biology doesn't allow for spooky shit, you know, wormholes and fucking black holes and fucking dark matter, and, you know. So, because it needs to be precise, right? And it's easier to, not easier, but you can see it up close, right? Where obviously we're so primitive in this existence that, you know, shit, we can't go out there and check it out. We're barely trying to now, right? With these telescopes that we've been sending up and all this, right? So that's what I was just trying to say, that, you know, in biology, you can't really fuck around like that, right? You got to be more specific, know what the fuck you're talking about, because it's not going to allow for that, right? The only time where it really allows for that is in physics, right? Anyway, so my point being is that, you know, when I listen to a lot of these physicists talk, and you know, when we get into quantum physics, right? It's all, to me, now, I don't want to upset or scare anybody off, and I'm not trying to get religious here, okay? Because like I said, this is for everybody, and it doesn't matter what God you worship, or if you do or not, or whatever, right? Because it all, my plan here is to marry it all together, okay? And so, but from my perspective, when I see them struggling sometimes to, you know, their equations don't add up or certain things don't add up, it's because, to me, while you're missing the most fundamental part of it all, which is the creator. You know, whether you want to call that Jesus or Jehovah or Allah, whatever. You know, I think, to me, from what I've learned, where I'm at now, even before, especially now though, is studying this stuff, you have to fit a creator into your equations now. And if you don't do that, it's no wonder why they have been stuck for millennia. Well, not millennia, I shouldn't say that. But now, quantum physics now is now marrying that, right? But if you look at it, quantum physics is just pretty much telling the story of a creator, and the same story they've been talking about since millennia. Okay, it's just science is now barely coming back. Now, a lot of it, I will say this, I don't know if you guys know about this, I'm sure a lot of you do, but there was a time and point, through the ages, that at some point they said, the church said, okay, science, they didn't want the scientists, they didn't want the science fucking around with their gods, okay? So they divided them, and to the point of persecution and death, said, you guys can have your weird shit, your whatever. You guys stick to, nature, and we'll stick to God, and we're not combining those, right? And so a lot of it, because there has been a lot of people through time that was thinking about how these two interconnect, but a lot of them were killed. A lot of them were, or should I say, unalived. And so that is a great deal of why, right? Because they wanted to separate, and they were fearing for their lives, so they needed to separate, right? So they didn't have room to equate God into it, right? Anyhow, so now you fast forward 2025, here we are, 2026, shit. And to me, it's just like I said, when I started getting these insights, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I'm hearing these quantum physicists, right? And I'm hearing these whatever spectrum of the science that you want to talk about. To me, it's like, hey, well, if I equate and just put in the missing piece that you're missing here, then it makes better sense. Okay, I'm not going to say it's easy either, because it's not, right? We're talking about deep shit. But anyhow, so one of the things I'm seeing, for instance, as an example, it's in everything, right? But for example, in trying to piece together my time project, there's so much, and there's been so much just bullshit thrown out there, and they just kind of want to see what sticks. And there's also been a lot of shaming and a lot of dismissing of valid information, that because the majority, which blows my mind, the vast majority of scientists are atheists, right? Which, whatever, that's for another fucking video, but anyhow. So, yeah, if you don't leave room for a creator, then we're going to have a problem. But anyway, like I said, it doesn't matter though, okay? So don't have no fear, because we can get there without a creator if that's what you want to do, okay? It's okay. We're here for everybody, baby, okay? So anyhow, in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I just want to get out here, and so I want to clarify that. I wanted to just say how, I started writing these notes down, and then it was hard to, at the time, I couldn't understand why. It was harder when I would try to explain this to someone. It's hard enough to grasp if you could do a good job of explaining, but when I can't even get the words out, because it's literally speaking of shit that's not from this world, at least the one that we think we know, it just makes it that much more difficult, right? So anyhow, but what I can say now is that, my goal is to try to get more people here to this point, okay? There's a lot of it. It's not to be confused with, shifting and quantum leaping and all that. It's part of it. There is a lot of that, but I think this is just another level of that, because there's levels to this shit, okay? And so one thing I will say this, okay? I believe I can get you there, But it ain't gonna come easy, baby, and it's gotta take work, man. And one of the things that I can say that got me here, okay, because it's just, to me, it's just like, and I'm not saying I'm anywhere near where I can be, right? But it's just, to me, it's like opening up full potential of our minds, okay? In between our fucking ears, man, we have the greatest, if you want to look at it in that sense, right? I'm not saying it is, okay? Don't freak out. I'm not saying we're in a simulation. I'm not saying we're not. That's for another video, baby. But I'm just saying, if you want to look at it like a computer, right? We have the greatest computer ever assembled between our brains. Even you dummies out there, right? You can always get smarter, okay? And so, to me, this is just another level of learning to use our brain to the fullest. Because I don't think we're anywhere near, you know, reaching our peak. Okay, and all this is just being able to use it just a little bit better. All right, and why the fuck would you not want that if that's gonna make you? Now the other thing is, part of it that I will say, this has to be for good, okay, because it just doesn't work the other way around. Now you could fuck around and find out, maybe for a little bit it might, you know, help you out, but see where that gets you, and it ain't gonna be where you want to go. You're gonna be right back at fucking zero. Okay, so that's one thing you need to remember. It's like, this needs to be used for good, because it's part of the whole fucking thing, baby. Okay, now I'm not saying you gotta be perfect. I'm not saying you gotta be an angel, because we are at our nature, right, at our true essence, that the way we're hard drive is for survival, like fucking animals and shit. So we're naturally gonna think of survival. We're gonna be stupid, you know. That's why this shit is so hard to master. Okay, but we can get there. Okay, but what I will say is, to me, is like, if you ain't willing to put the discipline, the time, you know, something you need to think about yourself. I mean, ask yourself, because, you know, the reward at the end of the day supersedes the sacrifice that, you know, and it's just a little sacrifice, and what it is for me, what it was for me, and I think what, I'm not saying this is the only way. There's many ways, but some of them do require the same shit. I'll tell you right now, you're gonna have to meditate. You gotta meditate, okay? In some facet, even though I believe, anyway, I don't want to get all into that. Meditate. Yoga is very, there's a lot of taboo, especially in certain cultures and certain demographics. But all yoga is, man, you know, if you get into it, it's more than, some people say, oh, well, I feel this kind of way because you're going to be doing stupid, weird fucking poses, and I feel a certain kind of way because I'm, you know, I don't have the confidence in myself or whatever the fuck, because that's really what it is. But it's just to align yourself up, align yourself with the universe, okay? You got to get your fucking body, your mind, your spirit lined up with the fucking universe, and that's what it's about, okay? And yeah, you'll get a little exercise, you get more flexible. That's cute and dandy, that's nice too. But the main idea is you want to line the fuck up so you can level the fuck up, okay? Same thing with the meditation, man. You got to shut the fuck up and look inside and higher your fucking frequency, man. Okay? So that's two things that I think for sure are necessary, right? The other thing is read books, man. You got to read books. And I'm not talking, no, I'm not saying you can't, but, you know, I don't mean fucking, you know, Lord of the Rings and shit. That's cool. You want to spend your time doing that. But I'm talking about learn some fucking shit, man. There's so many things out there. Important shit, okay? You want to spend the rest of your time reading other books, that's fine and dandy, but a lot of it, man, is like we spend way too much fucking time on social fucking media, just putting dumb shit, getting fucking dumber, man, okay? It's okay, you know, get your little dopamine every now and then. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying shit. I don't do it sometimes, right? Sometimes it's hard to avoid that shit, right? You see your little fucking video pop up, next thing they got you. But you got to make a fucking, you got to make a plan and stick to that shit to discipline yourself to say, okay. Now, I'm not saying zero tolerance, but minimize that shit and put more time. We all got time, okay? In this world, we make time for the shit we want to do, okay? And some of this shit you're not going to want to do. But eventually, like everything else, because we're an amazing species that adapts, right? You'll get used to it, and then you'll learn to love it, man. Because you'll start seeing the results from this fucking time you put in, okay? And so anyway, read books, educate yourself, man, okay? Yoga, meditation, and then work out, man. You got to work out, okay? Work out, get a practice, some kind of practice, and be consistent with it, okay? Cardiovascular, right? You want to, whatever it is, full body workouts, you work your whole fucking body, man. It's a pain in the ass, but you know what, man? The hardest part is just getting there. Just like everything else, man. The hardest part is getting there, okay? But being consistent with it. Look, my shit, what I did is like, because I'm just like everybody else, man. You start doing it, you're feeling good. Holy shit.
Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth connected.
And then you get a little comfortable, then you have your little cheat day, then a couple days go by, then a week goes by, and then fucking you're a fat ass again, and here you go. And you feel like an asshole. So then you just like, why fucking bother? Until the next fucking year when you have another resolution, or somebody shames you, or whatever the fuck. Or you have a scare and you fucking think you're having a heart attack. And then you start all over again, and it's just a fucking cycle that never ends, right? So the way to do that is, again, just be disciplined, man. Stick to it, right? Okay? A wise man once said, what diet works, right? The diet that works is the diet you fucking actually stick to and just do, man. Okay? Whether that's fucking whatever, keto, vegetarian, fasting, whatever, right? I can list what I think is best, but it doesn't really fucking matter as long as you fucking do it and be consistent with it. And you're gonna fuck up, and know that you're gonna fuck up, and it's important to fuck up sometimes and reward yourself sometimes, but then you need to just get back on it, baby. Okay? You fall off the horse, you get back on that motherfucker, and just be consistent with it, okay? The other thing, what you eat, man, okay? All the fucking sugar is the biggest problem on this earth. Okay, one of the things we consume, I would say probably sugar. The fucking sugar, man. You gotta kick that sugar, no matter how you're getting it, all right? Whether it's on your carbs, with your pasta and your fucking ravioli, or, motherfucking, your whatever the fuck, your drinks. What you eat, man, okay? Eat your fucking vegetables, drink fucking water, man. Make sure you're drinking the right kind of water, okay? All this shit, okay? So the food, your diet, and then, now, I am still guilty of this, but you gotta sleep, man, okay? I need to work on that shit. I've been working on it a little bit more. I get some of us are fucking busy doing shit. Some of us are being busy doing dumb shit. But we got to make time for sleep. It's important, man, because sleep is not resting, man. Sleep is like a biological maintenance, okay? It's like taking your fucking car to get maintenance and shit. Speaking of maintenance, I got to clean this motherfucker right here. God damn, I never saw this shit before. Anyhow, but yeah, all right? Peace, all right? Remember that shit. Peace. Peace is inside of you, man, okay? Don't be looking for it out there. If you're pissed off, probably because you're looking for peace from these, in the wrong place. Peace is inside, man. Okay? And on that note, peace out!